Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, everyone? Welcome to the Goblins live show. Hope you're all doing well. We've got an interesting show lined up for you today, and it's going to be kind of semi-serious, I suppose, the last serious show of the year. But we're going to discuss driverless cars versus motorcycles. Are you ready, wifey?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and roll the intro. How's it going, wifey?
Yeah, good.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything interesting going on with you at the moment?
No.
No? No, you sure? Nothing? No? Come on, you got to have something.
Christmas?
Because otherwise I've got nothing either, so we're just going to seem really boring.
Well, I've already told them about my new phone.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So. Well, I've still got a new phone. That's about as far as I went with it.
Anything else? She's got a flippy phone, the wifey.
Yeah.
A flippy phone, yeah. One of the foldable ones. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's quite cool. I'm just getting ready for Christmas and just like making the rounds to see the family. And then we've got a Bonza week next week, haven't we? Amazing week going on next week.
Yeah, we're having lots of parties and stuff next week, yeah.
That's next week, us.
Yep.
To be like, yeah, we're really cool. And we've got plans and we have friends. This week, us, we're just like, we're cold, we're tired, we're hungry.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, mate? Dope Star Gaming, how you doing? At Dope Star Gaming, I thought we weren't going to have any more live shows for the new year. Oh, well, can't complain. Yeah, no, next week's show is the last one of the year, next week. So, would you believe it? Next week would have been our 52nd episode.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
So literally for 52 weeks we've been doing the live show, every week for 52 weeks.
We've released 52 episodes, but we missed 2, didn't we? So
I missed 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's made up for it though, because we, because the anniversary show was not last week, the week before. Or was it last week? No, the anniversary show was last week, and then 2 weeks from there makes it up.
Sure.
It makes sense. The wifey's lying.
No, I don't follow your logic half the time, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, Mark. Yeah, it is a Z Flip 4. Yeah. Oh dear. No, it's fine. It's fine. It won't break, will it, wifey?
No, I won't let it break. I wanted this phone for such a long time.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you keep it open and then have it in your pocket, then that's probably going to cause some danger. But wasn't it on Jerry Rig Everything that he tried snapping it in half and he couldn't do it at the hinge? Or maybe that was the Flip 3. I can't remember.
Oh, if Flip 3 didn't, you'd expect this one to be more resilient, being a
not necessarily
version.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
No, some phones can get weaker.
Yeah.
Depending on what they do with it.
So far, it's been good.
Well, yeah, you haven't had it for long, but
had it for 2 weeks.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out if it's.
Mark's ordered the fold. That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking out for as well.
That.
My next phone. My phone's due in May or April, something like that. So that's when I'll be looking at it then. But the thing I like about these ones though, the bricks, is that they're waterproof. The foldables aren't waterproof, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, but yeah, who knows?
You might not get a choice.
Why not?
I don't know.
That'll be alright.
Well, see.
I still have a choice. It's going to be like the headphone jack all over again, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
No headphone jacks for anyone.
But it is quite nostalgic now to just open my phone and answer it and then close it.
Yeah, exactly.
It hang up.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's quite satisfying.
Yeah. Gentleman Rider, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Dope Star Gaming, I want the big foldy one that I want to slap close aggressively after a heated conversation. Well, I think you might want to watch out for that one. You have to get a JCB one, a
Yeah.
JCB foldable phone if they ever do
Industrial
that.
strength.
Yeah. Yeah, I could just imagine like having one of those like old telephones, the ones where the circle
Rotary dial.
the rotary dial ones, and then like when people are angry, they just slam the phone on.
And the headset breaks or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
But no, nothing else exciting. What about you?
No, nothing else. Well, I mean, yeah, like you say, everything's happening next week, so we've got some bowling booked
Can't tell
next
everything
week.
now. We've got nothing to talk about next week.
So, well, the bowling would have happened by next week, so
That's
we'll
it.
actually be able to say what happened. But well, I probably won't because I would have forgotten everything because I'll be drunk. So at least that's the aim anyway. So because I haven't had a drink in a while. It's been about a month and a bit.
October. Oh,
Yeah.
Halloween.
No,
party.
it was my dad's birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I drank a whole bottle of port to myself.
Oh yeah, I didn't drink that day.
And I was supposed to be a good boy and
I think the thing is though,
not consume more calories, and there you go.
we were
Had a whole
playing
bottle of
games
port.
and stuff, weren't we? And it just kind of the vibe was there, and it was just
I
next thing you
I was
knew-
just there pouring it into this little glass and just going at it.
next
It was
thing
lovely.
you knew, you were like, the bottle's empty.
Yeah. Oh, it's great though. I love port. Port's lovely. But, I've got another bottle of Cockburns just sitting in the house.
And Taylor's.
So and I've got a bottle of Taylor's as well. So they'll be gone by New Year, I think.
I'd be surprised if they weren't.
Yeah, that's lovely stuff. And then I mean, we've got a little party booked for next week as well for martial arts club closure. So we're closing up for the year, the rest of the year, Christmas break. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, everything's happening next week for us. So.
I'm having a little Christmas party with my parents, aren't we, on the Sunday? So like dinner and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So literally everything's happening next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a little break from my diet for a little while. I think I'm gonna try being good still in between the days when I'm being bad, when I'm being naughty. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I lost. How many kilos did I say I lost? I mean, it's been 7 kilos that I've lost, and it's been about a month and a half since I've properly started. About 7 kilos, I think I've lost. So yeah, doing all right. Last weigh-in wasn't so positive though. Didn't lose any weight on the last weigh-in, which was yesterday. But hey, we'll see how it goes. I think my aim is to not put on any more weight at the end of Christmas. If I can do that, then I think I would have achieved something. Because then, I've got a good baseline then to keep going into the new year.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed. But yeah, I hope all you guys are doing all right, and I hope that you've got loads of really cool things planned for Christmas and New Year's, because it's coming up real soon. But all right, wifey, shall we crack on with the main topic of today's show?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you got the you're right. Oh.
You had a hair in your glass. It was just reminding me of something chronic. It was just here. How are you not seeing it? How is it not annoying you? Like, going, hello.
'Cause I'm blind.
Oh, that's true.
Blind, deaf, and dumb. So, I mean, the wifey found this article for us about how driverless cars are meant to be tested in the UK from 2023. So this is they're trialing it. I don't know what the rules are at the moment for driverless cars. I think it's illegal from memory. I can't remember.
So I know Tesla have a form of driverless.
Yeah.
But you have to make contact with the steering wheel every now and then in order for it to stay on. Because what they found was people would be like sitting in the back with the driverless on. So there's like a form of it out, but it's not fully.
Well, no, but it can be. That's what they've had in America for a long time now. In like California, they've had these autonomous driver modes where the cars literally drive themselves. But I don't know. I don't know if that's legal in the UK yet. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that's why they're doing these trials, these road trials. Now, it's worth mentioning as well that this is just on motorways. So this isn't anything, not country roads or anything like that. This is just purely on motorways, purely motorway trials. And it's going to be, I think this article is speculating somewhat what's going to happen, but it sounds like as if it's going to be on, it says here, cars, coaches, and lorries are going to be tested. So there's been some uproar from the motorcycle community here in the UK. Apparently, it's sparking fears that it could put riders in danger, which is interesting. But yeah, let's pop you guys over to this other screen here so you guys can see what we see. But yeah, so driverless cars to hit motorways, safety fears for motorcyclists as road trials planned for 2023. The thing is though, like for me, I think this is just inevitable anyway. This is going to happen because it's the next step in like economic productivity. Like why have a lorry driver, for example, where they get tired, they have to have rests and all that stuff, when you could just have an AI do it and maybe a supervisor, a human supervisor in the cab to make sure it doesn't do anything stupid, but they're not actually driving. But then they can rest as much as they like inside the cab, you know, because they can basically do a full trip.
This feels very iRobot, doesn't it?
Well, but you know, it's kind of like, well, what's the point in having a driver in a transport vehicle or a logistics vehicle if it can be just automated?
There's an interesting point a bit further down which the director of campaigns in MAG says, because basically they're saying that this is going to be available for competent drivers. And he says, who gets to decide what is a safe and competent driver, human driver? We basically said that is a daft way of looking at it. If it's anywhere close to the average standard...
Hang on. Have we gone a bit too far down? Because we haven't spoken about this bit here.
No, I just want to make this point first.
This is the benefits of...
I know, I just want to make this point first.
Okay, all right. Whereabouts is it though?
Going.
Here. This bit?
No, it's further down.
See, that's what I mean. You've really skipped along, darling. Like, we should probably go through the article step by step.
No, but I think having this in mind whilst you're reading it is not a bad thing.
Okay, well, I can't find it right now, so we'll just let you describe it for the time being.
So they're saying if it's anywhere close to the average standard, it isn't good enough as far as we're concerned. So that's something just to consider whilst we're going through how they say it's going to work, is actually the logistics behind it and the real human component, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't understand.
Don't worry.
That's what I mean, though. But what you're saying this out of context, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine. Okay.
So what is the context, though?
Well, what they're saying is this is going to be available to drivers who are competent.
But that makes no sense. Why would they do that? The best thing would be to have drivers who are incompetent. Give it to them. I
don't know.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still don't understand what you mean by available to drivers who are competent. I don't get it. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does to me.
Yeah, but
hold on. Let me try and find.
So I mean, the thing is though, is that I mean, despite.
Sorry. No. What it is saying that they want the. So it says here. So bikers' rights groups are sceptical, with the Motorcycle Action Group closely monitoring safety targets as the wording by the government calls for autonomous vehicles to achieve an equivalent level of safety to that of a competent and careful human driver.
Okay, so that's what I mean.
But who's to say what is a safe and competent driver? Okay. Who's going to put that measure in place?
Okay. So, well, that's totally open to debate right there. Because, I mean, yeah, you could argue that there isn't many competent drivers out there.
But are they going to say it's a competent driver who has, like, additional driving qualifications or has been driving for X
I know exactly what this means. It means that the cars are going to, or the vehicles themselves that are driving autonomously are going to act in a way that is slower and safer. Well, they would regard it as being safer. So it would mean things like they wouldn't overtake It means things like the AI would end up taking more time to make a decision on what to do in a certain situation, like when to pull away at a roundabout, when to pull out of a junction, things like that. And they're going to add lots of tolerance to it. So that's what they're going to do.
Do you think?
So I don't think that means competent. Right? They're saying it means competent. I don't think that does mean competent at all.
So do you think these? I mean, obviously, this is probably quite theoretical at this point. Like, what's the word?
Hypothetical.
Yeah. When this comes about and we have these cars on the road, are these going to be separate? Are they going to be controlled separately to like cruise control? Are the cars going to set the speed limit and say, actually,
Yeah.
I'm now in control, I'm going to go this amount of speed?
Yeah, so the car will read the speed limit on the road. It will have the sensors to detect the speed limit on the road. It will have sat nav, and it can use the 2 data points to determine the speed that it will go. But again, that's not to say that the car itself, the AI of the car, is going to go that speed. It's probably going to go less than that. Again, because it's tolerances. They're going to make the cars go slower, not quicker.
But that's not safe, is it?
I don't know. According to them, they want everyone to go slower, don't they? The government, the councils, the governments, they want everyone to be going slower, not quicker.
So I'd imagine...
I disagree, but it's not one of those things that I have any control over. But I suspect that is what they're going to do. That's how they're going to program the vehicles.
I imagine it has sensors all around the outside of the car.
Yes. Yeah. He'll have cameras
in the 4 corners,
infrared.
or literally like all up the sides.
It's tough to say because I don't know exactly how a Tesla is designed, for example. But it will have sensors like infrared. It will have sensors like cameras. It will have optical recognition, OCR, optical character recognition, things like that. It will have those, so it can read and understand the signs on the road. Of course, it will have GPS as expected, and of course, it will have control of the throttle, have control of the steering as well. So basically, everything that a human would be doing is going to be taken over by an AI.
So I think before we go on to like the motorcycle side of it, I can see some benefits to having driverless vehicles, especially for people who are maybe immobile or elderly, and they want, it gives them a way to get out.
I think there would be a ton of benefits, and I mean it's like the point I was making earlier about increasing economic productivity and things like that, because that's what I'm not an expert in economics or anything like that, but productivity is one of those metrics that economists use a lot to measure the wealth of a country or something like that, and this is going to increase productivity. It's going to make things cheaper for companies. In effect, I imagine. Anything that's going to make something cheaper is going to be beneficial to the private sector. So I would imagine that the private sector are going to be some of the first, especially logistics firms, to try and use some of this stuff, because they don't have to pay a driver. They don't have to have a driver that can get a lorry license, for example. They won't need it.
I am surprised that they're going to start with some of the bigger vehicles like coaches and lorries and stuff.
Makes the most sense.
But aren't they the most dangerous to have unmanned?
No, not necessarily. I mean, they have the potential to make the most amount of damage if something goes wrong, but because for example, if a lorry has a stuck-on throttle or something like that, and it just plows its way through, it's not stopping. Do
you honestly believe that eventually it's going to get to the point where there'll be no one in the cab?
Yeah. I can see that. I can even see that the lorries themselves won't be monitored or even maintained by someone inside the cab. I actually think it'll be someone probably in some comm center somewhere else. It'd be like remote. It'd be like the way how the military use UAVs and things like that today. They don't have an operative that's actually inside the vehicle. They have someone with basically a tablet and a remote control, and they're just controlling it from a remote location using GPS satellites and stuff. Well,
I think it's a ridiculous idea.
Why?
Not having...
It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's not one of those things that we're going to have a choice over. This is going to happen. Despite the dangers, despite whatever. All right, this is what governments want, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
It is. Yeah, of course it is. They want less people to be behind the wheel of vehicles. They really do. Because then it looks better on their bloody tallies and stuff like that, how many deaths happen on the roads and things like that.
What happens when the AI glitches and it can't control itself? There's no one in there.
What if the software crashes?
Well, yeah.
But the thing is that you can build in fail-safes to software.
Yeah, but...
Like if an AI crashes, for example, you can build in like a backup firmware or something like that can start up when it detects that there's been a fault with the AI, and it can either park up the lorry, park up the truck, park up the vehicle, what have you, and then basically SOS for help from a remote office or something like that where someone can monitor it.
Are they hackable?
Probably. Anything's hackable. Literally, anything with a microchip is hackable.
Yeah.
Anything that has access to the internet is hackable. It's honestly, without a doubt. But I mean, we're kind of getting into the realms of IT and stuff like that.
Let me just go to the bit in the article where it talks about bikes. So there's the first bit across the top where it says.
But I mean, well, before we do, let's just go into this, imagining that this is going to happen because it is, and what the repercussions of it would be, what the consequences of this could be, according to what would you say the group was called?
MAG.
Yeah.
Motorcycle something.
Action Group, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Motorcyclist Action Group.
Yeah. So...
I don't know who they are, by the way.
I've never heard of them.
But I mean, I imagine they're just an association here in the UK.
Got £100 million investment. Crikey. So it says, autonomous vehicles have been in the news for all the wrong reasons over the last couple of years. Specifically the horror headlines where cars have struck stationary motorcyclists and pedestrians. Whereabouts?
Does it say?
I can have a look and see if I can find it.
No, if it's not on the article,
no,
don't
it doesn't.
Worry about
it's very...
So the wifey said £100 million investment. That's basically what the government is planning to spend on this project at the moment. Is £100 million. And apparently it can create. Officials say that it's going to create thousands of jobs in the motor industry.
But you're going to have to have very specific skill set for some of this, though, aren't you? Like software developers and stuff.
Well,
you couldn't just put any, Bobby down the lane on it because he won't.
No, I don't think that's what it's referring to, because all of that would be developed in house by the manufacturers of the car.
But is that not what they're saying? They're going to have to get more people in these warehouses.
No, no. This is just to test the suitability of the roads. I believe that's what it means anyway. To test the suitability of autonomous vehicles on UK roads. Well, motorways, UK motorways. And I mean,
read it either way.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't see an issue with this. All right. So this motorcyclist action group is saying about what is it you said about driverless cars that they're worried about? You said something about like crashes or something just now.
So it just says autonomous vehicles are being in the news for all the wrong reasons, specifically the horror headlines where cars have struck stationary motorcycles and pedestrians. That's MCN saying that.
Okay, right. But this is on motorways. There wouldn't be a stationary vehicle on a motorway unless, of course, it's broken down.
There shouldn't be any
like
pedestrians on there either, really.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with these trials. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to have autonomous vehicles, driverless vehicles anywhere on motorways, it makes the most sense. Because just going in a straight line. Literally, it's the easiest form of driving you can do. So it's the easiest form of AI to implement. It makes the most sense for me. When it comes to things like city traffic, when it comes to urban environments, when it comes to country environments, then no, absolutely not. I don't think this is going to work at all. But on motorways, I think this is a pretty good application for this kind of thing. And I mean, like I said, I haven't read the whole article. The wifey found this. So I don't know exactly what the issue that these guys have with this. But I suppose the issue is going to come more in what it means for the future. So when they do start running trials for urban environments, for country roads, for places where there's going to be a lot more, room for error, I suppose, from the AI's point of view.
What MAG have said...
Or a lot less room for error, rather.
...is that they want to make sure motorcyclists have a say in this. And they've mentioned about what is a safe and competent driver, but they've also said that MAG believe they have to come up, or the government has to come up with a data-based way of doing it. They have to. That's the only way. It's not beyond the wit of man to do large amounts of data gathering, and if we can statistically see these things are hitting a certain safety level, then surely that is a way to do it. So with these trials, and obviously you probably don't know this, would it be on a motorway that, whilst sort of like during rush hour with lots of people on it, I think it'd be at night where they have it controlled and they have like another car with them?
All day, 24/7.
That's how the trials will go.
24/7, yeah. If they're going to implement it, they have to implement it in real life situations. They have to gather the data, do the research in real life situations. It's useless doing it at night. It's useless doing it at certain times of day. They're going to take data points from as much as possible. But I don't think there's anything in this article, if I'm being serious. I'm being a total skeptic about this article right now because I don't see an issue here. I do not see an issue. It's going to be better for businesses. I mean, they say that it's going to create jobs. Governments always say that, but no one cares about that. I mean, what kind of jobs are they going to be hiring for this? Who knows? But I think, and it has the potential to make congestion easier on motorways. At the bottom of the article, the AA have got involved, right? And they have concerns. Okay, what are their concerns? It is quite a big leap from assisted driving, where the driver is still in control, to self-driving, where the car takes control. It is important that the government does study how these vehicles interact with other road users on different roads and changing conditions. But that's not what they're doing. See, again, even this AA spokesperson has got this completely around their heads. This is on motorways specifically. It says specifically on motorways. This isn't on other roads. However, so why are they talking about this? I think they're trying to think longer term. But that's like end goal. But the end goal might be just for motorways. However, the ultimate prize in terms of saving thousands of lives and improving the mobility of the elderly and the less mobile is worth pursuing. Do you think it's been motorways and bypasses? No. Just motorways? Just motorways. That's what it says specifically in this article. It says that the test is happening just on motorways. Do I think it should be extended to dual carriageways and things like that? No, I don't. Because again, that's urban environments. Urban, suburban, country environments I don't think are suitable for these kinds of things. Because think about it this way, right? When a computer thinks logically, it can think in straight lines, it can think in those kinds of terms, it can be predictable with what's going to happen and what have you. On country roads, there are things that are unpredictable that happen. In urban environments, there are things that are unpredictable that can happen. Like, for example, I mean, this happened to me once, this was ages ago, when I was just riding down a suburban road, and an old man walked out from behind some parked cars, didn't look in my direction, and I had to do an emergency brake. I managed to stop myself, but I had to do the pace that he was walking. Basically, I was going to hit him. There would have been no way for me to go around him or anything like that. I was going to hit him in his direction of travel. So I had to stop. I managed to stop, but there's no guarantee that someone in a car, for example, with an AI is going to be able to predict or see that an old man has come out from between parked cars. I saw the old man because the bike obviously is taller than cars, so I saw his head. So I saw that he was going to cross the road, but what I wasn't expecting was to do it without looking. Yeah. I was expecting him to stop and look, and he didn't. But I was prepared. I saw the hazard. It was there. An AI might not see that kind of hazard. It might not see it. Things like animals, deers running out into the road, things like that. What's the AI going to do there? But do you think that if you are in this AI mode, you could like apply the brake, for instance, and take control of the car? Of course. So I guess but the whole point of this exercise is to see how much we can trust these autonomous vehicles, these driverless cars. How far can they hazard percept? How far can they, correct themselves? How much can they take in and how much can they respond to? Because that's probably what these trials are for, because we simply don't know how far along they are in terms of development, but also two, actually whether or not they would work on UK roads. The most likely scenario for these things to work is going to be on motorways. Has to be. It's the simplest, most straightforward form of driving in the world is driving on motorways, highways. So I have a two-part question for you. Okay. One,
Do you think it's going to get to a point when this starts getting rolled out that you can buy a car with it or without it? Or I think it's going to be a built-in standard.
I don't know because this. So I mean, Tesla. We're using Tesla as like the base, the kind of like the baseline, because this is the company that are creating all these innovations. But it seems like as if their autonomous driving, it goes hand in hand. The development of it goes hand in hand with their electric cars. Obviously, makes sense because they just make electric cars. But that's not to say that every car company in the world is going to use electric and autonomous driving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember how the plans work, but I think that is how it works in Teslas, isn't it? Where there's different tiers of the car that you can buy and you can activate certain features. And I believe, off the top of my head, that the driverless functions are a tiered feature.
So it'll be an additional subscription,
exactly, or something like that. Exactly, yeah. I imagine that's what all other manufacturers are going to do. But there's no reason why, if they make an electric car, that they should include driverless assistance or anything like that. It could be a cost-saving measure. If a lot of these manufacturers are just like, no, we just need to make electric cars. We don't need to worry about the AI stuff. They can have lane assist and what have you, but I mean that's a step down from autonomous driving. Yeah. So it's one of those things where they, as a cost-cutting measure, they might just say, nah, who needs it? And to be fair, that's a pretty good argument. Who needs autonomous vehicles? Who needs driverless vehicles?
So it could be like more expensive brands could do it, and then like the lower ones might not. I
mean, like for example, your car, you could argue, is an autonomous vehicle on a motorway.
Why?
Because it has the lane assist and cruise control is adaptive. So it will slow down or speed up depending on the distance that you have in front of you of another car, for example. The lane assist, it can drive itself as well. It will keep the car between the lanes. On motorways, that's all you need, really. And people already have that. People already have that function. Okay, yeah, you're sitting in the driver's seat and you're expected to be there, and you're still expected to be there even with driverless cars. But what I'm saying is that functionality, in effect, is already there.
I didn't think about that. But it is quite a cool feature though, isn't it? When you're driving down, you've got a cruise control on and it slows the car down for you.
My Audi TT doesn't have that. It has the lane assist and it has the cruise control, but it doesn't have adaptive cruise control. So it doesn't pick up. It doesn't pick up when there are cars further up. It doesn't slow down. You have to manually slow yourself down. But in the wifey's Honda Civic, it does it all itself. So, maybe that's all you need.
I like this feature.
Just something that can keep you in the lines, something that has adaptive cruise control, so you set the speed, but it will go up and down depending on the speed of the traffic in front of you.
It's funny though. I've never before you've just said that, thought of my car as an autonomous car.
But you could argue that.
No, you absolutely could. But before this, I didn't think. I was like, well, I'm in control because I'm setting it, and I'm there. But actually, the car. That's what I mean. Slows itself down or what have you as it needs to.
Well, exactly, and I mean, with these trials, I'm sure that it's going to be a very similar situation where you drive to the motorway, and when you're on the motorway, you turn it on and you set it exactly the same way as you would turn on lane assist and cruise control. But hey, I don't know. Is that just me being too logical about it? I don't know. Is there something else that driverless vehicles are able to do that? Because, I mean, emergency braking systems, you already have that in the cars, or automatic brakes, you already have that.
Mine does that, yeah.
So I don't understand what the fuss is here with this article. I don't know anything about lorries, cabs. I don't know about the tech that's in them, but I'm sure they have cruise control. I'm sure they have lane assist as well built into them, especially the more expensive ones.
It'll probably be a different type of autonomous driving in the lorries that will be in the cars, because you've got to account for the cab weight and the trailer weight.
Yeah, but a computer can figure all that out.
I guess you just program in what you've got and what your load is, and it'll sort it out for you.
Exactly. Honestly,
no, we'll see.
Honestly, I don't think that anyone should be making a fuss about this. As far as I'm concerned, biker safety is not a concern on motorways. You have 3 lanes, 4 lanes, 5 lanes, depending on the country you're in. It ain't gonna matter. Yeah. So this is a fuss over nothing for me. This whole article is nonsense. And you know me, right? If I can take the side of the bikers, I will. But I'm not going to do it just because I am one. Yeah. If I see this as a positive step in the right direction, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to be like, oh, the bikers are right just because I ride bikes. No. And all the safety concerns here are all around roads that are not motorways. In that situation, in that scenario, yes, there are concerns, but not this.
I don't think it would be safe on a country road.
No, I don't think it would. I mean, I suppose we have time to discuss that, to go into that a bit further. But from this article's perspective, this on MCN specifically, it's not a problem.
Well, should we go through the chat first, and then we can come back to...
Course. Let's have a look.
Because there's a lot going on in there.
Oh, there is, isn't there?
There's so much going on in there.
All right, who else is in here? Oh wow, we've only got a few viewers tonight.
We're even without Christmas shopping.
That's true. Dope Style Gaming. I was meant to say. So last week when we spoke about we had the question that came up about the world record, the fastest quarter mile. It was on a Gixxer 1000. Okay, it was. The Hayabusa that's in that video was Big Countries. It wasn't Chris Moore's, as far as I'm aware. But the bike that he used to break that world record was a Gixxer 1000. So what's the bike called? Milena. I can't remember what.
I have no idea. Sorry.
He has a name, but the green bike is a Gixxer 1000, which just makes it even more crazy of an achievement. It's just a 1000. It's not a Busa. It's just a 1000 with a turbo. Madness. But yeah, so sorry, I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I was wrong in that one. All right, so and you were right. So yeah, well done. Okay.
So was that one of the question? No, that wasn't the question, was it? No, it was a bonus question.
No, it wasn't.
No, because it was.
It was. Yes.
So we did get another point.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We did get another point.
Yeah, I kind of said, didn't I, afterwards, that you get a bonus point if you can guess the bike. Yeah. And yes, it was a Gixxer 1000. So minus 1 point for me. All right. Let's have a look here. Mark, bring back Nokia 3310. Bloody hell, I had one of them.
I had one of those.
Madness. Everyone had a 3310.
Mine lasted for so long.
I think I still have mine. I think I still have it somewhere.
I remember the case that I had on mine. It was silver, had Tigger on the back.
I just remember that everyone's favourite game was Snake.
Yeah.
Everyone loved playing Snake on the 3310.
The new 3310, and Snake wasn't the same.
Yeah. I just remember when I would travel to see my family abroad, they had brick phones like that, and they would be like, "Oh, it's so good!" And they just throw it up against the wall and stuff like it. It would break into a million pieces. They put it all back together and it works.
I can imagine your uncle doing that.
Crap
actually.
like that they used to do. You wouldn't dream of doing that to any of these phones nowadays.
If someone took my phone and went, "Look what we can do," I'd be like, "Do not." Yeah. Like, please put it down and step away. I'm gonna punch you if
you touch my phone. Things like that. But madness.
It's like when someone goes, "Come look at your phone," I'm just like, "It's here."
Don't start gaming. Amen. 3310 Army, rise up. Brilliant. Oh, it's funny. Don't start gaming. No, I didn't wait for the year end. Good luck, mate. Thank you. I'm gonna need it. With the amount of drinking and eating I intend to do over Christmas, yeah, it's probably isn't gonna happen. We'll see. Dope Style Gaming. I don't think it's something to worry about if it stays on the motorway. But then again, everyone's looking for an easier way to do the same nonsense. Yeah. Well, it's like there was an article. I saw this. Man, this must have been in the 2010s when cruise control was kind of becoming the norm in a lot of cars. Maybe the mid 2000s. I think it was a guy in America that bought an RV, and he went, and one of the coolest features on it was this cruise control. But he thought it meant driverless. He thought the cruise control meant that it could drive itself, when obviously everyone knows that it's not. But anyway, so he set it in the cab, went to go and make himself a cup of coffee or something like that, and then all of a sudden the RV was like in a ditch somewhere because it crashed.
I'm sure it's an episode on The Simpsons.
But apparently he took the RV company to court and won.
And on what grounds?
I don't know. I don't know. How can you be so stupid? But I imagine that something in the user manual probably said, or probably wasn't specific enough about what cruise control was, and that's probably the angle that they took. But just how someone can use cruise control and then all of a sudden, crash it because they're not at the wheel or something like that, and then all of a sudden, they win a court case and they win money or
Found
damages. God, crazy, man.
Found the article.
Go on. Hit me. Remind me of the stupidity.
In November 2000...
2000? Oh my God. They're cruise control in 2000?
Mr. Grzinski purchased a brand new 32-foot Winnebago motorhome. On his first trip home, having joined the freeway, he set the cruise control at 70 miles per hour and calmly left the driver's seat
70 miles an hour?
to go to the back and make a cup of coffee.
Oh my God.
Not surprisingly, the Winnie left the freeway, crashed and overturned. Mr. Grzinski sued Winnebago for not advising him in the handbook he could not actually do this. He was awarded $1.75 million and a brand new Winnebago.
No one in their right mind would ever set cruise control, even if they didn't know what it was, and just expect it to just, sort. You'd be there like, okay, how does this work?
How long have you known about this story?
Decades. Well, a long time.
It's a myth. It never actually happened.
Oh, is it? Oh, no way.
Yeah. It keeps coming around.
Oh,
around and
I was
around.
going to say, how can someone be so stupid?
The legend began in the late 1970s when cruise control was first available for RVs.
What? Cruise control's been around since the 70s?
Yeah. which then was the vehicle always featured in this legend. As he says, sometimes it was a retired couple that made a dangerous error, otherwise a young and naive driver. So it's just basically someone told a story and it's
just a troll online then.
Yeah.
That created the whole story.
Sorry.
No way.
Sorry to correct you after decades.
I prefer to know the truth because, then I'm not spreading it online.
Can you imagine? You'll never guess what I heard.
Spreading the same myth.
It evolved so much, there's actually you that was in the Winnebago. That's how shit will evolve.
But it is something that people would do though, isn't it? That's the crazy thing. I think that's why it was so believable, is just because that is what someone would do. You just know it, don't you? But yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Dostal was saying, Everyone's looking for an easier way to do the same nonsense. That's exactly right. Dostal Gaming, if there is no human element, then it has to be absolutely perfect, because any incompetent, in apostrophes, drivers shouldn't be given any keys in the first place, but it is apparently difficult to discern such drivers.
So
exactly.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, go for it.
So, a few years ago, when my middle brother, had just passed his test, he went round a corner a bit too fast and ended up in someone's garden. And they were like, you can do a speed awareness course, or you can take the points. And it was done by someone who used to be who was an ex driving instructor. And apparently, and I don't know how true this is, if my brother was trolling me, he said that driving instructors have a percentage of people they have to pass. So if they've failed a load of people at the beginning of the month who just weren't good enough, but they need to get the percentage up, they'll just pass people who just aren't competent for the road because they didn't make too many fatal errors, like big errors. They'll just pass them anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe it, but you can't help but sometimes look at the drivers out there and go,
I don't know. I mean,
how did you pass?
The thing is, but passing we've said this before, passing a driving test doesn't mean that you are competent.
No.
If anything, it means the exact opposite, because you haven't got that experience. You learn a lot more from experience on the road than you do actually from passing your test. I mean, okay, it gives you that basic understanding, but a driving test is never ever, or driving lessons are never going to put you in the same situation as some that you can get.
I remember getting in my car for the first time after I'd passed my test, because I think I got home, called my parents, and then changed my insurance. Was like, I need to just go for a drive. Ended up at your parents, because that's the first confident route I knew how to make. And I had to sit down and have a cup of tea after that, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I've just driven by myself.
Yeah.
There's no one in the car.
Mark, it's another version of Big Brother watching you. Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
I was going to ask you. Sorry, I keep thinking of things.
What's that?
Do you think that or what is the chance of the autonomous vehicle, this driverless vehicle, recording data of
100%.
it and then sending it off to like insurance companies and
100%. Because that's the thing, marketing data now has become big business. And any way that a company can sell marketing, can sell data that can be related to marketing and advertising and things is something that anyone's going to do.
It's not right though.
100%. It's like a lot. I mean, we're literally just on the MCN website right now, and we're getting adverts getting pushed out to us. MCN, no doubt, is using the cookies from the browser as data, and they're sending that data to advertisers, and advertisers are automatically popping their ads in front of us because they think it relates to us.
It's when you get the adverts that are in your area.
Yeah. Yes. You get all that. You get all that. I have absolutely no doubt. And I mean, it could even go one step further, where you know how in operating systems such as Windows on computers, you get adverts on it. You get ads in it. I have no doubt they're going to incorporate ads into cars.
Yeah, like a little center console.
Without a doubt, they're going to put ads inside vehicles, because it cuts the cost of manufacturing for a manufacturer.
Do you think if you've got a driverless car, it'll still be illegal to talk on your phone?
Yeah, I think so. But there's no point though, because again, nowadays every semi-modern car has got Bluetooth, hands-free. You know.
True.
There's no need to call someone on your phone. It's just pure laziness, really, if you ask me. I don't know. That's another topic entirely, I suppose. Dopestyle Gaming. In this day and age, I feel like motorcycles are one of the last few things that actually require 100% attention and control of your brain. And even then, that's slowly changing with tech developments. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Mark, the world's gone mad. Yeah. How long before the little geek in his bedroom hacks the system? Oh, come on! Mark, Audi TT equals hairdresser. Shut up! And then look, then there's Dopestyle.
No. I don't think that. I think that's about what you saying your thing is right.
No, I think it's relating to that.
No, I don't think so. Where you keep going down, it then said I'm still nowhere near winning.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
Love that vindication.
Again, out of context there, but yeah. It does look bad though, doesn't it?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's true though. I mean, it does have that perception. I remember I used to work at my old company. There was a lady there who was a receptionist, really, really nice woman, and she had a white Audi TT, but I don't care. I like the car. I don't care. I like it. I think it's fun. It's got loads of power and stuff, so I don't care.
I enjoy driving it.
I think it's a good car.
Yeah.
So I don't care what people say. You see blokes, big, burly, heavy blokes driving around in TTs all the time.
It's about 50-50 from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Right.
'Mark, there he goes.
2001. You were born in 2001. My goodness. Now I feel old.
Yeah, the 3310, I think that came out in the late 90s. I think it might have been 97.
We were alive
98.
when it came out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, though, that was like the go-to phone for teenagers at the time. Anywhere from being 13 to 16, kids that age had a 3310.
If you didn't, you weren't you were just not cool.
But then later on, though, it was the flip phones, like the Razr, the Razr phone.
So
then it was also the phones that would slide up as well.
I had one of those. I never had a Motorola Razr, which is why I wanted this, wasn't it? To have my flip phone era.
Yeah, it's true.
I had a flip phone, but it wasn't a Razr. It was an LG.
Yeah. Dopestyle Gaming, watching a YouTube ad to unlock your car unless you get premium. 10 years max, I bet my life.
That's interesting.
You know what?
In terms of implementation, at least, not a life sentence.
Yeah.
Or refuse to watch this, you're going to prison.
I know what you meant. But imagine if you're going to use the phone app, for example, for a particular car to unlock it, you have to watch an ad before you can unlock your car.
God. And it's like not skippable.
That's actually a brilliant idea for car manufacturers anyway, to make a ton of money. Honestly, that actually sounds like something serious that they would do.
You do have a good point, to be fair. Like, I do think Dave Style was thinking as a hairdresser's cars are.
You do?
Look at the comment at the very bottom. When it comes to TT drivers.
Whatever. People can say what they like.
Jealousy's a horrible shade on some people.
Yeah. Well, hey, I've got a nicer bike than most of you, so. Sorry,
was that a
low blow?
Anyway, everyone just leaves, and that's it. God.
Oh dear.
I'm not associated with him.
I'm sorry. Oh come on, I got to fight fire with fire, you know.
True. To be fair, just to put it out there, the TT was like my dream car, and I couldn't afford it. So you got the TT. Let me finish.
Well, I was just gonna say that it's a car that I've always been curious about owning anyway. So ever since like the late '90s when the TT was introduced, and then of course you had movies like iRobot that came out where they had the R8 in there, and the TT looks very similar to an R8. It's like what you said at the dealership, wasn't it? It's like an R8's baby brother.
Yeah,
literally is what it is.
Yeah,
in terms of design. So I've always liked them.
I mean, when it came to me getting a new car, you're like, what about a Civic? Because you like Civics, didn't you? And if I could have afforded a Type R, I would have. But the insurance on that was mad for both of us.
Yeah, it was over £1,000, wasn't it?
So, but you really like driving my car, and I really love driving your car. So it's worked out quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. That I do regret buying that car, not because of the car, but because I hardly drive it.
No, I drive it more.
Know, in 3 years that I've owned it, I've done about 7,000 miles.
And I've done the rest
in 3 years.
Yeah.
No. The total amount of mileage in the car. So I think when we bought the car, I think it had 2,500 miles on it, something like that, and it's done just over 10,000 miles. So between 7,000 and 8,000 miles, it's all it's done in 3 years. It's ridiculous, and I'm paying a ton of money for it.
And I've used my car so much compared.
Yeah, but I've said this before. I mean, I use my bikes a hell of a lot more than I use my cars. So my next car isn't going to be anything fancy. It's going to be just some beat up thing, probably. Something I can just rag around whenever I need a car, but it's not going to be anything fancy.
That's going to make a good video.
Yeah.
Oh. Hope so. At least you've got a nicer bike. He's got a bike, period.
I forgot. Sorry, I forgot, mate. Sorry. No, that's a low blow. That's a real low blow. Sorry, mate. No, I didn't mean it like that. I hope you're doing all right anyway. I hope that your recovery is going well anyway. But yeah. Dopestar Gaming. I mean, I'm a heavy lad and I do want a Mini Cooper, so don't worry. Obviously, we're in the same boat. Funnily enough, my mum has a Mini Cooper, and it's a decent car.
Are you talking about the newer one, or like the John Cooper?
Yeah, I was going to say like the newer one, the BMW Mini Coopers is one of the ones that my mum's got, and it's a decent car, but it does have pretty hard suspension, and the clutch is quite heavy for my liking.
But your cousin, he had the John Cooper Mini, didn't he? And he
had the original, yeah, or one of the originals.
He's a tall bloke, isn't he?
No, he's about the same height as me.
But he's...
Not back then, he wasn't.
Was he not?
No. Again, but similar frame size, yeah, from when we were, teenagers, growing up. But
I like the minis.
I'm not such a fan of the minis. I mean, I appreciate the older ones more than the newer ones, but yeah, I don't know. You can just tell that it's a BMW though in disguise. That's the problem. When you're driving a Mini, you can tell it's a BMW. Well, and that's not a bad thing.
I've not driven it.
That's not a bad thing by any means. It's still a really decent car. It's still a really good car. And it goes like the clappers, man. I think it has like a 1.6 or a 1.5 litre turbo, something like that. And it's stupid quick. I don't know what the horsepower output is or anything like that, but of my mum's Mini.
Yeah, that is.
But it is stupid quick for a little car.
When you put it in sport mode, it's like a little go-kart, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's good fun.
Definitely,
actually.
yeah. It's definitely a fun car.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe I wouldn't have one myself, or I don't appreciate them as much because my mum has had one.
Yeah.
maybe that's why I
mean,
don't.
when I get in the car with you and then I get in the car with your mum, they're very different styles of driving. So, but.
Oh, nice. Dockstar Gaming got discharged yesterday. Awesome. Good stuff.
And he likes the type of banter.
Good
so
stuff.
I don't apologise.
I totally forgot.
You got caught in the moment, didn't you?
I did. Totally did.
Mark said we need more.
Yes. I'm going to be on the Discord this weekend. I did want to get on it last weekend, but I simply didn't have the time. But this weekend I'll get on. I mean, what time do we think? It's got to be either before or after the England game.
If you go after, I'll be home, so I can come on it too.
I don't know, what do you think? After the England game on Saturday for Discord, we'll be there. The wifey is off to is it a wake?
Yes.
A wake
my granddad's wake
for granddad's funeral a couple of years ago. So
COVID unfortunately stopped us from able to have the wake.
So she's going to do that. She's going to go there over Friday night.
Yeah.
But she should be back for the England game.
Oh, I've told my mum and dad I need to be back.
Yeah. So.
You don't watch football, and I was like, this I watch.
It's the World Cup, It's
different.
I'm not much of a football fan, but the World Cup is an important event. It's a good event. It's one of those events that literally brings the world together.
I mean, I'm not telling my grandma that I need to leave for the England game.
To be fair, though, if you did tell her, she'd probably understand.
Oh yeah, she probably wants us out of them by then anyway. It's gonna be a long day
she'll
for
probably
her.
want to watch the England game as well. Everyone wants to watch the England game.
Maybe.
From England,
Maybe.
And France, anyone that's from France is going to be watching the game.
But yeah, no, I should be back. But I want to be back to watch the England game. So
okay, we'll after the England game, we'll get on Discord. I mean, I don't know, it's probably going to be about 9-10 o'clock, something like that, I imagine, because the game starts at 7, doesn't it?
Yeah, so hour and a half for the actual gameplay.
It's going to be more like 2 hours.
That's not including extra time and penalties.
Exactly. Yeah. If it goes to penalties, then we all know what's going to happen, right?
If it comes to penalties, we'll just come online.
Yeah.
We know it's going to go
because we know England will lose on penalties.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So,
we'll do that. So yeah, between 9 and 10 o'clock, we'll jump on.
Yeah.
But Mark, a Mini
is one of the
fastest accelerating cars I've ever been in. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I can imagine just from being in my mum's stock Mini, and it isn't even like the one with the biggest engine or anything like that. So
I think the first time you took me out in it, we went down the bypass, and it was like being in the Millennium Falcon at one point. He just threw you back, and I was like, my God, this has got such power. But like I said, I like them. My dad had a John Cooper Mini for before I was even a thought. My dad had one, and I've always liked them.
Yeah,
I'd get an electric one, to be fair, an electric Mini, if that was what came to it.
Oh, they probably will be at some point, I've no doubt. But yeah, good stuff. All right, so we were meant to be carrying on with with our topic today, but we've got to run out of time. I suppose we can leave that for another day, talking about the impact of autonomous vehicles, driverless vehicles on country roads, on urban roads. But you guys have probably already gotten my message already from this, is that on motorways, I don't think there's a problem. And I think every now and then MCN has a habit of coming up with these articles that try to make a fuss about something over nothing. Do you think?
Yeah.
Every now and then MCN. So MCN, come on, rein it in a bit.
Sort yourselves out.
This is just like an article for the sake of writing an article.
Clickbait.
Literally clickbait. You don't have to do that. But anyway, I mean, yeah, I think we'll call it for today's show. So thank you ever so much to Mark, Dopestyle Gaming, Gentleman Rider, for joining us in today's show. I mean, I think because it's coming up close to Christmas now, I think a lot of people have got stuff on. So, hopefully we'll start getting a few more faces coming back in the new year. But yeah, next year's show is going to be the last one of the year. Next week's show, excuse me. Yeah, not next year's. I tell you what, though, it does actually happen a lot, where I rewatch a live show and I've said something and everyone knows what I meant, but I said it wrong.
Shall I just not correct you?
No, go for it, because it's I prefer to get the message across correctly.
Next week's show.
But yeah, next week's show is going to be the last one of the year. And we'll do something special,
upbeat, fun.
Yeah, a bit upbeat, and well, we'll see. I've got some baby pictures as well. to show everyone for next week's
Oh,
show.
I know the picture you mean. I was thinking, oh my god. Oh my god.
No. So some baby pictures of me at the start of my riding career.
They're good.
So
they're definitely worth tuning in for just that. They're so good.
Just that, yeah. So we'll check those out next week. You can see baby Goblin.
I've actually got a picture we can use as well. So
cool. Yeah. No, I'm sure we've got loads.
Yeah.
I've got some in my mind that I want to show off next week as well. But let's see if I can find them.
There's the one in the living room that I think is quite a good
there's
one.
that. Yeah, that one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because they're old ones as well. They're
One-
from what, 2013?
One of them is, and one of them's from last year.
2013.
So we'll use those as well.
Madness. So yeah, we've got we got some good ones on the way for next week. But anyway, yeah. Thank you again for joining us today. As always, yeah, leave a like, hit subscribe, join us on Patreon, and the link is in the video description for Patreon. So it's a new thing that we've introduced. So if you like what we do and you want to support us, then definitely check us out there, and you'll get access to the Discord as well.
One last serious message
Yes.
before we sign off. I'm going to do my mum thing now. It's very cold out there. It's very frosty. Be careful. Ride carefully.
Well, Mark's got his bike in pieces now, so he's not going anywhere.
But even if you're just walking somewhere, be careful. I fell over before I came in here. I bailed it because of the ice. So just please be careful out there.
In fact, actually,
don't style. Be careful.
That is something to add. Just from what Wifey was saying, this weekend is going to be interesting because the weather is going to be ridiculously cold.
Yeah.
I'm going to try getting out to shoot, but last weekend I went out on Saturday and on Sunday to shoot the videos for this week and next week, just in case this weekend was iffy, and it's looking like as if it's going to be -3, -4 degrees.
Yeah.
Celsius around here. I don't tend to ride anywhere if it's hovering around 0 degrees, because I just don't think it's safe. But we'll see what it's like over the weekend. But we might have to be a bit more imaginative with the content.
We have a few ideas in mind
that we film.
need to, don't we? But no, like that's a genuine just not necessarily ride necessarily. Just be careful because it is getting treacherous out there.
It is getting bad out there, and even if the roads are okay, but your hands are getting ridiculously cold, like mine do. Mine get stupidly cold. Even within 20 minutes of riding, my hands are just gone.
Yeah,
I can hardly feel the controls, and my hands are in pain. But anyway, we'll see how we get on this weekend. And like the wifey is saying, just take care, be careful if you are going to be riding this weekend. But hope you have a good weekend as well, mainly. And hopefully it all goes well for England.
Well, but we'll speak to you on Saturday.
You've got to fancy France to win, though. I'm being honest. You've got to fancy France. So we'll see. It's going to be perhaps the biggest game of the tournament. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a good one. Yeah. But thank you everyone again ever so much for watching and joining us on today's show. And hopefully we'll catch you all next week. But we've got a video out tomorrow as always.
And we'll speak to some of you on Saturday.
So of course, we'll be on Discord on Saturday. So we'll catch you then. Thanks guys. Take care.
Ride safe.
See you next week. Mark, it's snowing up north. No wonder.